We are back.
Motherfucker's gonna get tight at us.
I know. There's gonna be a conspiracy that pops up that's like, he's just trying to upload 2 videos so he can get more money from the 2 videos.
The last shit was bad. Like, it was good for a while. I have a picture of the frozen screen, so I could tweet that shit out. I haven't been on Twitter in a while, but it was like, and I was like, motherfucker, put your finger down at me.
And it didn't stop, right? It was just like
no.
that.
And then it had like the rotating spinning wheel shit. But I heard you good.
That
and then for a minute, it was like it got bad. Like I barely was making out words.
It could be a Wi-Fi issue. It could be a Skype issue. It could be some other shit. But whatever, it is what it is. Right now, I still have the thing now when I hear you and then I see your mouth move, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the latest porn search?
Oh, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on.
That's probably what's hacking this shit.
Should I? MILF squirt. Rim job deep. Crowded public masturbation.
Damn.
Saline cunt. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's some weird shit. That's some weird porn sites.
Huge butt plug. Somebody typed in world star. Somebody typed in sex with sister. Homeless man.
Imagine just someone put like Nikes or groceries, like some normal shit.
They thought they were like typing into Google something, and it's just somebody typed Scarlett Johansson.
Like Valentine's Day gift or something like good Valentine's Day gift.
Oh, okay, this is funny.
Damn.
All right. Anyway, so where were we? We still got polls, bitch. Polls to do. Okay, so
do we get the one live with Britney Spears, Christina, and Jessica Simpson?
Yes, that is live.
Okay.
And then we did Sprite versus 7-Up versus... Did we put that one up yet, or no?
I thought that was as I was starting to not hear you, but I thought like Sprite would win on a landslide on that shit.
Oh, we didn't put that up yet. Okay, so let's put that one up now. Sprite versus 7-Up versus Sierra Mist.
I think Sprite's going to wax that ass.
I also think Sprite is going to win, but it's going to be close with 7-Up, I think. I think it's going to be close with 7-Up.
7-Up has come on strong, but Sprite, I don't know. Sprite is like more relatable to hood kids and stuff like that. Like they get involved with rap music and shit.
And what's 7-Up? Is 7-Up some preppy shit?
7-Up is like...
Sprite, 7-Up. Yeah.
Who can I compare that shit to? 7-Up is like...
You're at like your uncle's barbecue and there's 7-Up there.
Yeah, 7-Up is like... I don't even know. Like...
I like 7-Up better. I think it'll be close between Sprite and 7-Up.
Yeah, Sierra Mist ain't fucking moving nothing on that shit.
Yeah,
do you put Mountain Dew in that category? What category is Mountain Dew in?
Didn't we add Mountain Dew in the poll for best soda?
No.
Oh, no, we didn't. We missed that. And I meant to bring that up, too, because it didn't even occur to us.
Soda poll?
No, we didn't put it in there, but we should have. I read comments afterwards, and some people in the comment section were like, how did you guys not even think of Mountain Dew? And I was like, you're so right. Like, that should have been in there.
Really? Mountain Dew?
Yeah, you don't like Mountain Dew?
I don't think I've given it enough chances.
Oh, I'm stunned right now because I love Mountain Dew, number one. And number two, if you were to ask me, like, does Corin like Mountain Dew? My response would be, without even asking you, I'd be like, he loves Mountain Dew. Like,
really?
If somebody asked me that, I'd be like, he loves Mountain Dew.
I used to like, they came out with the code red.
By the way, while you were away, I grabbed one of these.
Oh, you're smart, man. I texted you on Sunday that I was trying to have as many as I could.
How many did you get to?
I tapped out at 5.
I told you, man. We're old now. We can't do that shit. When we were in college, we could put more than that away, but...
I think I had like, what did I have, 15 or 16 in my fridge or something like that? And then at 5, I was just like, I just feel full. And
then how'd you feel the next day? Did you feel fine or no?
Yeah, I felt fine because I took a shower at night and sort of just washed all the shit off me.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of I felt good. Like,
and you started drinking middle of the day, right?
Yeah, early. I started with the first football game at like 2 o'clock.
Okay, so that's why you felt fine.
Yeah.
I don't generally like alcohol. Like when I drink alcohol, it makes me, especially if I have it like early, by the night I have a headache if I drink it early. And if I drink it at night, it's fine, but I always feel sloppy when since I don't drink anymore, if I have like
I don't drink anymore. You just showed me Corona.
I'm saying, I don't drink. Like, this is the first time I've had a beer in fucking weeks.
Yeah.
But like, if I have 3 beers, I will be legitimately like tipsy / drunk, and I'll feel sloppy. Like, that's why I'm not a big fan of alcohol, because I feel like sloppy when I drink it.
Yeah.
It's not like a pleasurable like intoxication. It's like a fucking like intoxication, and you feel dehydrated,
bloated and shit.
Yeah, so it's not my favorite, but like this was the last beer in the fridge, so who knows?
I think we should have I think Coronas are fucking just like the best beer out there.
All right, well, this is next week's poll. We got morning shower versus night, and then we'll do beers in next week. But I still have some I wanted to get to today, so maybe we should save these for next week. But
wait, one note on Mountain Dew. Wasn't there a study? I think the reason I was turned off to Mountain Dew because that shit lowers like your sperm count or something, right?
Thing, but it's not just Mountain Dew. It's like a food. It's like a flavoring or something that's in a lot of shit. It's in like whatever, like fucking a lot of different sodas, and it's in a lot of different foods.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's some food coloring or something like that. And
I think that's what turned me off to it. Like I always wanted to give it a chance, and I think I did like it, but then I heard that like study came out, or rumor or whatever, and I was like, nah, fuck that. I can't. I'm not drinking that shit.
I don't know how significant that is though, because it's like the same thing like with Accutane. Everybody was like, oh shit, that shit causes like depression and suicide. So they put like a warning on the bottle for it, but basically, the way the story goes is like there was literally one case of somebody who happened to be on Accutane who committed suicide, and then it was like anecdotal, and they were like, well, we need to put the warning because this person was on fucking Accutane and they committed suicide. But it's like, you don't know that was the shit that caused the person to do it. Like, that's ridiculous. There might actually be like a lower incidence of people who take Accutane that commit suicide than the general population committing suicide. Like, it's just that they drew the connection where there wasn't necessarily one. So I took Accutane. I never had a single problem with it. My friend took Accutane, never had a single problem with it. So it's one of those things. I don't know how big...
It could have just been a myth that started... Like, there could have been a video of a guy, like a porn or something, banging his girl, and then, like, took a sip of Mountain Dew, lost his heart on because he was, like, a porn star or some shit, and then a rumor just got started with that. Like, rumors spread fast. Yeah.
That was the Mountain Dew that he couldn't get hard because of the Mountain Dew.
He, like, has the whole video just trying to explain that shit.
So the other polls I wanted to do, which I think we'll save for next week, but we could discuss them now. The poll of which is the best Tic Tac. In fact, I have Tic Tacs. It's actually across the room now, but so white,
orange, hands down.
I was gonna say that's my favorite. White, orange, and green are the Tic Tacs.
Orange definitely number one, but white is putting up a strong fight because that's like the grown man Tic Tac now.
So I think it's funny you say that because I think white handily beats green. Like,
yes,
white beats green handily, but in my mind,
we'll get fucked up by orange if they were in a street
orange
fight.
Tic Tac is the Tiger Woods of the Tic Tac world.
Yeah.
Like that's 14 major championships for orange, and the closest is like Phil Mickelson with like 6, just way back there. Like, Phil Mickelson is the white, but it's not touching the fucking orange.
Yeah, no. Yeah, white's not touching orange. But I think there is a progression of that shit. I think orange, we liked it because it was when we were younger, but now I've sort of advanced to the white.
Not me, man. I had
still orange, team orange?
Yeah, because I came up with the idea for this poll, and then I was like, I'm gonna get a thing of Tic Tacs for each one, and so the past few weeks I had like one of each.
Yeah.
And I started with orange. I was like, these are fucking good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, now I'm going to get the green. I was expecting the green to be banging. I was like, these look like they're going to be good. And I was like, right? Meh. And then I had the white.
It's not even like a green color, right? Isn't it like
it's like a lightish, green? It's like a lightish turquoisey type kind of green. But
I even see masculine ass green shit.
Fuck, we're poisoning the well here. We have to do this poll now because then people listen to us and be like, oh, we're going orange too.
I got another fucking poll just sprung off of that poll.
Fuck. We got so many polls. Kyle and Corin's polls is the new name of the show.
Is Pink the greatest starburst of all time?
Hell yeah, that shit is. Where's the question?
I don't know. Other people would say no. I think I spoke to someone. They said they didn't like the pink shit. And I was like, no, that's not.
How do you not like the pink shit? That's like not fucking... Oh, that's
and just recently they came out with a Starburst flavor, like Starburst, and like the thing was all pinks. So if you have a
That's
shit
genius.
like of the shit that everybody likes, you know that's got to be the best shit.
Okay, that is genius, and I'm gonna go buy them.
Yeah, they have that. All pinks. The whole shit is pink.
Okay, so I'm doing the Tic Tac one now because we have to do it.
Yeah.
Is your prediction that orange is gonna blow them out of the water in the poll though, or no?
Yeah, it might be stupid. It might be like 84% orange
Really?
in a 3-person poll.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Orange. Like people in Japan know about orange. People in like third world countries know about orange Tic Tacs.
I feel like the others might actually surprise us because you and I don't know. Are we biased because we like the sweetness of the orange one better by far? But other people, when they look for a Tic Tac, they might not be looking for the sweetness. They might be looking for the mintiness. You know what I mean?
If you ask anybody Tic Tac, they say the orange shit. Like whether or not they like it or not, orange is just the goat of Tic Tacs.
Okay, maybe you're right. I'm curious to see the results now. I'm happy we did this poll now and we didn't wait till next week.
That's like Girl Scout cookies. Like there's better flavors than
Fuck no, we gotta do a poll on Girl Scout cookies.
But when you think of Girl Scout cookies, you think Thin Mints. Like there are better flavors, but Thin Mints is just like would win a poll hands down, just because that's the Air Jordan. Like that's the shit.
But that's not. I feel like white Tic Tacs are more the go-to Tic Tac for people than the orange. Even the orange are way better. Just in the same way for Girl Scout cookies, I hear your point. I think you're right. But the Samoas in my mind are way better.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think people going into a poll, I think they would just give it to Thin Mints just because it was like you got to bow down to that shit. Like you go to CVS, the most Tic Tacs that are going to be missing are the orange shits.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But there's no fact. Like
you're
I'm not
definitely going to see the white and the green, and then the orange.
Yeah.
It could just be like a lot less.
Yes. If you were like, hey, which one sells out the most? The dude behind the counter would be like, probably orange.
That's true, man. That's true. All right, fuck. So I wrote down Starburst poll, Girl Scout cookie poll, morning shower versus night shower, beer poll. And I haven't even gotten to the last one I wanted to do today, which was pancakes versus waffles versus French toast.
That's a good ass poll because I was just thinking about that shit the other day. I would never order waffles if I went to a restaurant or some shit.
Never?
I don't think so. I think
really.
I think, and pancakes is some shit that you would get as a side, like because usually your omelet comes with 2 pancakes.
That's
which
a bold ass statement. I always feel
enough.
like pancakes are some main shit. I feel like.
Oh, really?
That's in my mind. That's what it is. But then again, I've had pancakes more in my life when like my mom has made me pancakes versus I know what you're talking about. You go to like IHOP or some shit.
Yeah.
But aren't pancakes like a main shit even at IHOP or no?
I don't think so. I think it's some side shit at IHOP.
What? Because pancakes, I don't know how you feel about pancakes in terms of how like full they get you, but I get so full from pancakes. Like I eat 2 pancakes and I'm like, I'm fucking full.
Yeah, I agree.
They're heavy.
But here's another thing to shit on French toast, even though it could be at the top of the list in some people's opinion if you have a banging French toast. There's an International House of Pancakes. There's a Waffle House, but there's no French toast like restaurant chain shit. So if they can't even get into the fucking restaurant chain business, how are they trying to be number 1 on the list?
Not buying it. Because I feel like because
you would think there would be a waffle zone or some shit.
Because the opposite, the same point you're making could be a reason in the opposite direction, which is it's more of like a delicacy. Like, oh shit, we're having French toast in this bitch.
Oh, so it's more exclusive that it doesn't even need its own chain.
It's like the VIP room. Like, oh shit, we're getting French toast today.
That's a good argument.
I mean, look, in my mind, but I was thinking of a different point about French toast when you mentioned that, which is it's hit or miss. Like, you could get a French toast that you're like...
I know people who make bad French toast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody can make a French toast and you're like, you see like a little bit of egg on it and you're like, why do I see the egg on it? Like...
No, sometimes the egg on that shit is banging though.
Well, that's the thing is like so.
Oh yeah, but when it's not right, when it's all white looking and shit.
Yeah, somebody could fuck up French toast, and you're like, this should be delicious, but it's not that delicious. But like pancakes, I feel like even shitty pancakes are pretty good. Like I've never had pancakes and been like, ew.
Yeah, you're right. The first couple pancakes that you make in the pan usually are the ones that are fucked
Because
up.
there's no, I think they're the better ones because there's more butter in that shit.
Oh no, I disagree because because it doesn't get the pan's either not hot enough, unless maybe on my pan isn't hot enough. But those are the ones that are usually the most albino looking.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the
See,
first couple ones because the pan's not hot, and then you put the fourth one on, and the shit's brown all around.
back in the glory days of life when my mom used to make me pancakes, I would tell her like, this is I sound like fucking Cartman, like, ma'am, do this for me, ma'am, ma'am. I would tell her like, you gotta add, like, after the first batch of pancakes, like, pause for a minute and add more butter into the pan, because then when she cooks the first one with the butter, it's delicious. If she doesn't add more butter, then it just, like, the later ones become like darker and not as fluffy and delicious.
That is
Buttery,
true.
obviously. Okay, but in my mind, I do have to say though, and when it comes to waffles, there's, like, I prefer the Belgian waffles, the fluffier waffles. I don't know how you feel about that versus regular waffles. Like, I eat Eggo
What
waffles.
are the difference?
Well, like an Eggo waffle, for
Oh,
example.
Eggos I like.
Like that kind of a waffle is a little thinner.
Oh, you're talking about the kind like they have at the hotels that you could flip the shit over and it's 2 minutes and the shit is like
Yeah, the thick, fluffy waffles. That's
Yeah.
the Belgian waffles. I like those the best, but I also like Eggos. In fact, I eat Eggos more. But,
Yeah.
But I
Eggos
like
are
the
super-
Belgian ones. But in my mind, look, overall, I'm gonna have to give it to French toast in my mind, because
Really?
yes, and here's why. Because when you get good French toast, it just soars above waffles and pancakes. Like,
That's a good ass point.
the
'Cause
peak for French toast. It's like French toast, to draw another golf analogy, is like John Daly. Like, John Daly's a crazy motherfucker. You know, he's fat, he's out of shape, but he's a regular ass dude with regular ass problems. But like, when he played well in his prime, he won 2 majors. Like that's his peak. That his peak is high. Like, he blowing away a field and fucking hitting the ball 350 yards. Like, that's
a good
French
point.
toast. French toast is
Yeah.
like, you could have one that's gross, but then when somebody nails French toast, you're like, yes.
That's a good point. The ceiling on French toast is way higher than like pancakes. You know what you're gonna get. Even like the top chef in the world can make pancakes that potentially me or you can make.
Yeah.
Waffles, same type of shit. You're using a waffle maker.
Mm-hmm.
French toast, like, you got to have the right amount of egg. You could throw some. You could throw some of that white shit on it. That
Yes,
little
the
like
powdered sugar.
shit.
Mhm.
Throw some fucking like
Cinnamon.
whipped cream on that bitch. Yeah,
Mhm,
like,
you could do that.
I think that's gonna be the most evenly balanced poll that we have.
I think pancakes are going to win. I think pancakes are going to win, and maybe not by a lot, but not necessarily by a little. Like, I think pancakes are going to
you're
sort
right.
of
I think-
crush.
Yeah, I think pancakes will win, but I'm with you. I think French toast, because of that reason. The ceiling is way high on that shit, and waffles is just like anybody, fucking baby can make that shit. Dog can make that shit.
So then you agree with me. French toast is your pick, but you think waffles
Yeah.
will edge it out or kind of win a little comfortable?
No, I think pancakes. Is
Oh,
gonna
that's
win
what I'm
it.
saying. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Pancakes.
Yeah.
Waffles, pancakes, French toast is a good ass poll.
But then there's a fucking another poll. It's just straightforward IHOP or Waffle House.
I'll add that to the list. I honestly don't think I've ever eaten at a Waffle House before. I've
Really?
eaten at an IHOP.
Waffle House is banging.
But isn't Waffle House more in the South?
Yeah, it's just more in random like
That's
fucking
why.
like
If I was
South
gonna have
Carolina.
it, I would have had it like when you and I drove there,
Yeah,
or
some
one of
road
the other
trip
times I went there. But I only went there like 2 or 3 times,
Yep.
and I just never had anything at a Waffle House. But I hear good things about Waffle Houses.
Well, just because they have everything on their fucking menu. It's like a cheesecake factory. Like, you could find something.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's a reason why people like it. It's just they've got fucking everything covered.
Well, what would you say? You just made me think of this. Friendlies versus, like, who would they be against? Applebee's, I guess.
Is Friendlies? I don't think Friendlies is in the Applebee's category.
You think it's lower than the Applebee's?
I don't think. I think it's two different.
Oh, it's two different.
beasts. Yeah, like Applebee's. That's another poll. Is Applebee's versus Fridays versus Chili's?
There you go. Fridays and Chili's. There you go.
Yeah, versus like a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh man, you're thinking of good shit. You better write this down.
That's a good ass foursome poll right there because people love their shit. Like, I fuck with Fridays. My wife hates Fridays.
Just putting that aside, though, putting those ones aside, and I know you said Friendly's is not in their category. You're probably right, but I love Friendly's.
Oh, yeah, I love Friendly's too, but I don't think it...
It's like halfway in between a McDonald's and like a Fridays? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I think it's more like on the desserty side. Yes, it is the restaurant shit, but it falls...
Oh, so you're thinking more because of the ice cream and shit that it's...
Yeah, I would think it more... And I don't think it does, but I think it more falls on like a... Well, Cold Stone doesn't have food, but more on like a Cold Stone side.
I think that's too far. You're going too far.
Or like
with
A&W's. A&W's has
yeah, I could see that. Or what's the place in the casino that we used to pass? The Roy Rogers or some shit? Johnny Rockets.
Well, there's a Roy Rogers, but Johnny Rockets is banging too.
That's the place with the old school burgers and shit, like old school diner. Yeah,
they've got good burgers too. I once was on a cruise, Royal Caribbean cruise, when I was like 16 years old, and it was all you can eat, like Johnny Rockets. It was free.
And you had a heart attack.
I had a heart attack. But like in the beginning of the trip, I was crushing that shit. But towards the end, I was like, I didn't want to see another fucking hamburger in my life.
Yeah, you probably just went in at the beginning, and then you were like, what am I doing?
Yeah, that shit was banging. But I think I shitted so many times on that cruise just because it was just like hamburger after greasy hamburger and fucking French fries. I think it only had like hamburger, French fries, and like milkshake or some shit.
Okay, so we got polls for weeks now, man. We got so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we haven't done that we're going to do. 6, actually, because of what you just said about the restaurant. So this is good. We got a lot. I'm curious to see the results, but we'll stop with the polls now because Rory. I like how we were literally between the mini episode we did first, and then we had the issue with the technology, and then now we're speaking about the polls for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, hopefully people make it to part 2 of the fucking shit.
Yeah, whatever. I decided I'm going to do the, you know how I used to do the Kyle and Corin number, whatever, and then you put what you spoke about? I'm going to go back to doing that. Because we got much higher view counts when you put that. It's annoying. I felt like people would watch it no matter what because they know that we're going to talk about some shit that's interesting. But they didn't. People it is true that the little things that are in the description entice people to click on it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
They'll be like, oh, I do want to see that. But if you just put Kyle and Corin number whatever, they're like, maybe they talk about some shit I don't want to hear.
Well, fuck those people, man. They should be listening without the fucking shit on it.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but whatever. It's fine. I'll just add some. And I never did everything we spoke about because we talk about so much shit. You can't add it all in the title.
Yeah, hell no.
You could add a few of the things and say, yeah, we talk about this, we talk about this.
The first shit you could just be like, fucked up Skype again.
I was going to put mini Kyle and Corin episode. Maybe I'll do mini Kyle and Corin fucked up Skype.
Yeah.
And then I'll hit them with the normal Kyle and Corin number or whatever.
Yeah.
We went for a good 20-something minutes, 25, 28 or something like that, which is longer than I thought, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that maybe it was like whatever 15 minutes.
I think the shit froze on like 13 for like I've like remember seeing that.
Yeah, we had issues starting like halfway through. About halfway through, we started having issues. Right after we said like we weren't having issues or something.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
So, but there were some other things. So the WWE thing, did you watch any of that yet or no?
It's still scrolling on my shit right now, but I started watching from the beginning before we came on air, and I saw when first the McMahons came out, which I was okay with that.
The beginning was good, man. The beginning was probably the best part. They started on a really high level. So the McMahons came out, Shane came out, Stephanie came out, and then they said, oh, the person who brought us all this, Vince McMahon, yada, yada. He comes out, he does his typical heel thing where he's like...
Well, he was like humble at first.
And then he starts yelling at the crowd, and he's like, we're in fucking Brooklyn, this place sucks. He does a good job like he always does with that. But then Stone Cold came out, son.
I'm a little torn on it because like when he first came out, I got the chills a little bit because it brought me back to like some childhood shit, like just being in my room on a school night and like hearing that fucking glass break. There's no better like just music than that shit. No better entrance than I think that Stone Cold shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's good entrances, but his shit is just iconic. So when that glass broke, I was like, oh fuck. And then he came out like he's just a god at doing this. He probably wasn't saying shit, but his mouth was like...
He always did that. I never noticed, but you go back and look at the videos, he always does that. He comes out like screaming at people.
Yeah, like cursing some shit. He like pointed at the cameraman. Like, fuck out of here. What the fuck you want to do? Like, and I was just like...
It's just perfect. Man. It's just great.
But then I wasn't a fan of the back and like I didn't like the like cheersing of the beer and then shaking hands and then stun you. Like I didn't like that scripted shit.
Well, so this gets to something I wanted to talk about, which is, so what were the ups and downs of the episode, and what are the problems today with WWE? And so to me, that was one of the higher points of the night, is that's how they opened. They opened with basically taking you a trip down memory lane, giving you a heaping dose of nostalgia by, letting you see that. But in my mind, I was going, okay, I liked it, but maybe that would have been better at like the end of the episode, like at the end of it. You know what I mean? And maybe it would have been better if there was a little bit more of a logical, you're right, like the back and forth was a little weird, and then it was like, here, let's drink the beer, and then I'm going to give you a stunner. It's almost like it was too much of an act where they should have added some context to it.
Yeah, and like, there was no script for Stone Cold. Like he was like, so I guess his reasoning for coming out was because Vince McMahon said I did this all by myself, and then Stone Cold came out and was like,
see, I didn't even catch that.
I'm upset you said that. Like,
yeah, I didn't even catch that, but that's a good point. That's a little more context than I thought there was. But I would have liked it if Stone Cold grabbed the mic and said something like, like you've been running this company into the ground from day one, and it's not you, it's the superstars that put it on the map, and then you stun them. You know what I mean? Something like that.
It just...
But it was good. It was good. I'm not going to shit on it too much because that was one of the high points. There were points that I thought were low points, though. Like
I haven't gotten through the whole shit. I'm up to John Cena fighting some dude with a beard who was just playing guitar in the middle of the fucking ring.
Okay, so I was going to... like, Undertaker came out at one point. You're past that point, I think.
Yeah, I saw the Undertaker shit, which is like, the Undertaker's a fucking god, man.
And it was weird because he didn't...
But he was in the Manhattan Theater. Like, he was in the Manhattan shit.
Where Raw started. And he didn't say anything that, like, gave you a hint about anything. It was just kind of like... It was just some shit where even the announcers were like, I don't know what that means. So, I feel like they could have given a little bit more of an indication about what's going on with him. Mm-hmm. And then DX came out in a weird way. Like, I love the DX reunion, but they came out... First, it was Shawn Michaels and Triple H... And then it was Road Dogg and Mr. Ass, and then it was X-Pac, and it was like they should have just all came out at once. But like, here's the thing about the WWE that gets under my skin today. It's they used to. If you go back to the '90s, go watch a fucking. If you have the WWE Network, go watch a pay-per-view from the 1990s, and you will see. There is so much more wrestling, number one. Like, the matches today are shorter, and they're not as creative. That's just a fact. They're just shorter and not as creative. They don't put an emphasis on the fucking wrestling anymore. And it's like, well, no, you should, because this is what, when you're a little kid, that's exactly what you want to see. Like, you want to see that shit. Like, the soap opera-ish angle to it, yeah, you got to include that. That's part of what wrestling is, but... They totally de-emphasize the wrestling now to the point where it's fucking comical.
Yeah, that's what, like, back in the day, we used to really appreciate, like, when they were fighting in the backstage or some shit, or they got in a car, you were like, oh, fuck, that doesn't happen that often.
No, wrestling in the ring I appreciated, because they wrestled in the ring with creative shit, where it was like...
I know, that's what I'm saying. So when they took it out of the ring, it was just, like, a rare sight.
Yes,
whereas, like, they do that shit now.
And now they're so heavy on that,
all the time.
Yeah, and it's too heavy on... storylines, and the storylines are not even that great. Like, they don't nurse the storylines enough. And also, look, man, in my mind, what would be ideal for the WWE, you have to do a mix between the cartoon era and the fucking Attitude Era. Attitude Era was when they didn't give a fuck, and there was mad, like, sexual shit.
Mad racist shit.
Everything. It was just, everything was just fucking edgy and was like, we don't give a fuck and we don't care that you're going to write articles and be like, oh my God, this is so inappropriate. And it's like, that's the fucking point. That's the point. That's why we're doing this. So you got to mix Attitude Era with the Cartoon Era. Now, some people might not agree with me on the Cartoon Era part of it, but the Cartoon Era was like, it's exactly what it sounds like. Like, the characters were kind of over the top and they all had a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you had, like, Tatanka, the fucking Native American one. You had fucking Doink the Clown, a literal clown who wrestles. Like, so...
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, like, everybody had a thing.
$1 Million Man.
Everybody had a thing, and now people might look at that today and go, well, that's kind of corny. But it's also what people watch wrestling for. Like, you're not watching it to see your fucking dude who looks like your neighbor, Jared,
Yeah, yeah.
fight Bob from down the street. You want to see
some stereotype shit.
Yeah, you want to see a world that's like a fucking fake world, like a comic book world.
Yeah,
you know, and like
that's what like superheroes are. It's just like like a comic
it's escapism. World. So give people the fucking escapism. Make a fucking somewhat of a pirate character or some shit. Like you could do that. You could fucking do that. And mix that with the Attitude Era, so it's like it's also edgy, even though it's everybody's playing a role kind of thing, and you could have better storylines and nurse the storylines more. And I think that would be, I think that would make WWE better. But look, man, I realized this the other week. I haven't watched much of it yet, but apparently New Japan Pro Wrestling is doing like what I just described, like.
Yeah, but no one's fucking with like Japanese wrestling.
Well, that's the thing is like WWE has such a fucking. They own the market in the U.S.
Yeah, they got stranglehold on that shit.
Yeah, but that's a problem. Like, back when it was competition, it was WCW versus WWF. Like, they had to fucking be really good at everything, or they might have lost the war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but now, since it's WWE everything, it's like Vince can do that, where, like, you'll have fucking 4 short, shitty matches on a Raw that's 3 hours long.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere else to go. I mean, like even if someone did want to watch that Japanese wrestling shit, like, where the fuck can they even watch that shit?
I just figured it out, actually, today. It's on, and that's the thing, most people probably don't even get this channel. Access TV, AXS TV, and it's on one day a week, not 2, and it's on Friday nights at like 8 or something like that. So that's the thing.
No one's watching that.
Nobody's doing that. But when you look like online, like what people are saying, like different forums and shit, they're like, nobody's fucking touching New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're on the next level. And look, when I was a kid, I was such a dork, and I loved this shit so much. Not only did I like WWF and WCW, but me and my friend used to order tapes of the Japanese wrestling at the time, because even back then, their shit was hot.
Well, their shit was always hot. I mean, like, Japanese fucking shit is dope as it is. Like, Japanese baseball leagues are dope, too. But, like, if you're trying to make the most money, you're trying to, like, get the most notoriety.
You come to the U.S., yeah.
You come to the U.S. and play in the major leagues and fucking... You watch Japanese baseball videos, those fans are wilding the fuck out and doing, like, song and dances in the fucking stands and all this shit.
But it's
annoying. No one gives a fuck.
It's annoying to me, though, because, like, with all those other sports... Like, if you want to come here to play baseball, the league here is better. MLB is better than the Japanese league, than any other league. No doubt about it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes they play in, like, that World Baseball Classic, and Japan is always tearing shit up.
Japan always beats the U.S.?
Not this year. USA won the championship shit this year, but, like, in the past, Japan was, like, tearing shit up.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong about that. But, like, I know, for example, with golf.
Or, like basketball.
Or basketball, golf, basketball. The U.S., like, the PGA Tour is just better than every other tour. So you have, like, the fucking Australian Tour, the Canadian Tour, the Asian Tour, the European Tour, and there's a clear hierarchy, and the U.S. is better. Just the players here are better. We just have the best players in the world here.
Yeah.
Same with the NBA. But the thing that annoys me with wrestling is that that's actually not the case. Like, you have better wrestlers in Japan, and it's like, so it's mismanagement from McMahon and in the WWE that leads to, it's still massively popular, so I'm not shitting on it completely here, but I think it could be way more popular if they did it better. Like, they don't do it as good as they used to. Like, every now and then they'll hit you with a good match, but it's just not like it used to be.
Well, he's not even really that focused on the shit anymore, right? They said he's trying to get involved with the football again.
Yeah,
so it's like Shane XFL, and Stephanie doing it.
Yeah, it might bring back XFL. I heard all that. I don't know how true that is, because for the longest time, he was the guy who would fucking come up with shit and say, this is what we're doing. Like, apparently he's the guy who's been pushing Roman Reigns on us for all these years.
And no one fucks with Roman?
No. Well, no, that's not fair. There are probably some people who fuck with him, but he's not what... Like, you know what it is? Back in the day when The Rock started, he was a babyface, and they were pushing him on everybody. And people were just like, no, we don't fucking want you. This is back when he didn't have the character The Rock yet. He was just some goofy-ass dude who's, like, really affable and, like, a likable dude who you'd, like, want to talk to at the fucking water cooler at work. Yeah. But you don't want to root for him in the ring because something rubs you the wrong way about him. You're like, you're too nice. Fuck you. You know what I mean? And then it took a while before they realized, like, oh, shit. he can be a charismatic heel, and then people loved him when he was a charismatic heel. And then The Rock was born, and now The Rock not only was he a huge star in WWE history, he's literally makes the most money out of any actor now in Hollywood.
Yeah, The Rock can do anything the fuck he wants, man.
Exactly. So, with Roman Reigns, it's the same thing. With Roman Reigns, it's like nobody likes him, and when you're trying to shove him down our throats, like, here, fucking Roman, champion, fucking awesome. It's like, no, he's like too good looking. He's too diesel. He's too fucking, like, he's got the half sleeve tattoo or full sleeve, and he's just like, he looks like that douchey stereotypical like dude who is like the jock from school. Who everybody's just like, fuck that guy. Like, that's Roman. Like, you have to make him a heel and make it so that. But again, this is Vince McMahon going, no, like, well, I want you to like him because I like him.
Isn't even Triple H in charge now or some shit? Like, he doesn't wrestle anymore, right? Isn't he like executive in this
I don't
shit?
know the hierarchy anymore. I don't know. I know that
I think Triple H is like in charge of that shit now.
I think Shane is the head of SmackDown and Stephanie's the head of Raw, but that's like on TV. I don't know if they actually run it or if Triple H is running it, or I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's weird because once they started branching that shit out too much, it sort of started getting too confusing for me. And I was like, just keep that shit simple. It was like Monday Raw, Thursday SmackDown, and then
now
occasionally
they do Monday, Tuesday. What the fuck are you doing?
There's a Tuesday shit now?
Now there's no Thursday shit, but there's a Tuesday shit. And it's...
Oh, see, I don't know why they got rid of Thursday. That was like a bomb.
Here's their explanation. They say, we always recorded SmackDown on Tuesday.
Oh.
So, and it used to be a few days until it airs on Thursday. And what would happen is all the wrestling blogs, people would post what happens. And so everybody knew in advance. And so they're like, we're just going to air it live on Tuesday. Which makes sense. But then, somebody like me who's a purist, I like the Monday-Thursday split. I'm like, I don't get why they don't just do it live Thursday. I mean, I guess there's logistical reasons where they feel like you can't get the stadium set up in time or whatever the fuck. It's got to be something.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that they're hurting in the ratings, though, the way they do it now. Because you just front load the week. You do Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Most days, 5 days in a row, people get nothing.
Yeah, unless they turn into that Japanese shit on Friday.
And that's the real fucking wrestling heads who do that. You know what I mean? Who even gets Access TV? Like, who gets that shit?
I never even heard of that station.
I think I just got it. I think that my cable provider just picked it up.
That's awesome on your cable provider shit. I get all these fucking banging movies I see on TV, and I try and click on them, and it's like, subscribe to this shit. And I'm like, damn, I really just wanted to watch.
That is the worst, because that always happens all the time. It's like the one movie you want to see, you turn to it, it's like, you don't get this channel. Fuck.
Like fucking bangers, too, that I'm like, damn, I haven't seen that shit in a minute. And it's like, subscribe now to fucking Playboy channel. I'm like, fuck.
You could call them and complain, and then they'll give you a little bit. Like, you'll be like, look, I'm get
rid of my shit.
Getting rid of this, and I'm gonna get a different provider. And then they'll be like, whoa, why? And you'll be like, well, I don't have this, but this place offers me everything for less. And then they'll be like, okay, we'll throw in Showtime for you for like 3 months or something. And then you'll be like, okay.
Like, yeah, actually, my remote wasn't working the other day either. Can I get that movie station?
So I was like happy but sad too watching. I was like, damn, this shit is not like it used to be.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm watching like the regular matches now, and the people just look corny, and
they don't put as much into it. I remember back in the day, the real cruiserweights who would do crazy fucking shit. But you know what? I shouldn't complain, because apparently New Japan Pro Wrestling does it. If I really cared enough, I could watch that. Or even what's the lower? Why am I blanking on this?
Well, TNA or some shit?
Not TNA, but NXT. The lower like the people who are prepping to be in the WWE.
Oh,
it's like
there's another wrestling thing that I heard the guy from Smashing Pumpkins or something is like the CEO or the.
Oh, really?
The owner of it, yeah, he was on Rogan talking about that he bought it.
Is that TNA? Did he buy TNA?
I think TNA, yeah.
TNA is like, it's got the ring, but I think it's like an octagon or some shit. Like,
is it?
Yeah, it's not just 4 sides.
They were saying Ric Flair tried to go back into that shit, and it was just
like 1,000.
His daughter is in WWF though, right? Or WWE?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is. So the other thing, my birthday's coming up soon. It's
First, right?
Oh fuck! I looked at my phone and your shit froze.
Yeah, it's my own shit, but I'm good right now.
I literally took one look at my phone, and the second I did it, your shit froze.
Am I frozen?
No, but now I got the static shit.
Oh.
No, it's getting better. It's getting better. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at my phone again.
That's crazy how much that shit fucks it up.
It has to be that, because this can't be anecdotal. It happened fucking like 6 times where I look at the phone and then boom, fuck shit up.
Which is so weird that it's that fidgety.
Whatever. But anyway, my birthday's coming up soon, and so I'm gonna go to one of those Japanese steakhouses. Japan is getting a lot of love in today's show.
Yeah. Shout out to Japan. I want to go to Japan.
Well, good luck on that plane ride.
I would. That shit is diesel, right? It's like 7 hours.
Yeah, you get on the plane, and then when you get on the plane, they tell you when you turn 46 is when we'll let you off. But
there's probably just so many people walking around in Japan. Like, it's probably just like so overwhelming. Like, their Times Square shit must just be like, and I hate people, but I would just want to see what Japan looks like. It would just feel like some alternative universe shit to me. It would just be like, this is Times Square, but Japanese version.
I don't know. I don't think they're that populated. I think China's super populated.
Oh, I thought Japan was busy as fuck over there.
I mean, it might be busy, but I'm gonna look at the population.
I just feel like there'd just be so many people, and like
population of Japan.
Japanese people are always bumping into people.
127 million people, but I don't know how big it is geographically. So maybe it is a lot to like kind of jam in to.
I've always had this impression, and I don't know if this is fucked up or not, but like since like Japan and China and all that shit, there's a lot more people, so like they're more probably prone to bumping into people and like not being aware of their like spatial surroundings or whatever. That when they come to America, like they're usually bumping into you and shit like that. Could that be a thing?
Well, if you come from like,
or is that just fucked up?
If you come from Beijing or Shanghai, that might be a thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that would be a thing for like Tokyo. Like again, Japan, I don't think it's as bad. It's only 127 million people. It obviously depends how big it is geographically, but China is, I think, over 1 billion people are in China.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like really busy. China is
in Europe, like they don't tip on their food and all that shit, so they probably come to America and not know about the whole tipping shit.
Listen to this: population of China 1.379 billion.
God damn.
That is so ridiculous. The U.S. is only 330 million people.
And what was their shit?
1.379 billion.
God damn, why is so many people? How is that even? What is that?
That's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
I feel like there'd be more here. Like we have Utah where people have like 12 wives and then like 47 kids. Whereas China, I feel like they have one. They're like, I'm good.
It's fucking crazy. That's so many people.
That is a lot.
And that's what you were kind of referring to is like in Beijing or Shanghai, like you're going to get that. You're going to get like fucking wall-to-wall people everywhere. They might not have as much. Like by the same token, we might have a different sense of what's socially acceptable in terms of how far away you could be from somebody being like in New York versus
like just in general, like just like someone's space.
Versus if we go to Utah. If we go to Utah, they might even want like an extra foot between them. You know what I mean? Where like me and you were like, oh, we're just talking to somebody, and they're like, back up. We're like, what do you mean? Like that's what I'm saying. And you're talking about how somebody from China, from a busy city in China, might be all up in your shit, and you're like, whoa.
Well, I mean, like you go to the airport, and it's like you get bumped into, and like just like they're grabbing their bag right on top of you and shit, and it's just like. For them, like they're fucking jamming onto trains and all that shit, like those YouTube videos.
Yeah, I get that kind of shit. Like that kind of really gets under my skin too. Like there was some shit that happened where I was walking in like the mall, and somebody didn't like stay in their lane. They kind of like swerved into my shit, and I had to move a little bit. And I was like, that was fucking infuriating. Yeah, it's like I'm walking my normal, like I'm playing my role, like I'm on my lane, like I'm walking, and somebody's like, whoosh, 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 whoosh.
That's what I'm saying.
What the fuck? Like you
just
didn't...
some common courtesy shit.
Yeah, I was like, this is fucked up, man. Like, I want to be like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, you don't know how this works? Like, that's your lane. I'm in my lane right here.
I don't know.
It was obnoxious.
I get pissed off of that shit where on the escalator, like escalator, people, if you're not trying to walk, you stand on the right and stand still, but you leave the left side of the shit open. So if someone's trying to walk, you go. But then there'll be one person who stands that shit. You can't get them.
That's a great
point.
Like,
same with driving. Like, why are you in the left lane if you're going mad slow?
Oh, that's a great point. The worst thing is when somebody pulls out in front of you super fast and then they slow down. And you're like,
oh, I fucking hate that shit,
the fuck is wrong with you? If you're going to get in front of me, go. Don't get in front of me and then fucking slow down.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to go slow, wait for me to fucking go by. That shit. Sometimes I get some road rage. But anyway, what I was going to say is, so I'm going to a Japanese steakhouse. I fucking love those places, man.
The hibachi shit is off the chains.
Exactly. So I always, the dessert right off the bat, the fucking fried ice cream. Oh, no place has that except them. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right.
And that shit is just such a fucking treat. It's just great.
It is so good. But even before that shit, like...
Oh, everything. I was going to say, so I'm also going to get plum wine. Have you ever had plum wine?
Nah.
That shit is delicious.
I fuck with the beer there that like...
Sapporo.
Yeah, that shit is banging. Maybe a little sake if I'm trying to get my sake on.
And then even like the vegetables they make are good. Like I don't even mind eating the vegetables. I'm like, oh, these are pretty good vegetables.
Yeah.
And then the noodles are banging.
Do you prefer a dude? Because I feel like I've gone to hibachi like so much that sometimes I don't even like. I'm like, just cook the shit. Like you don't have to throw the broccoli in my mouth. You don't have to throw the egg in your hat. Like just cook my shit. It's that banging.
Well, that's part of what I wanted to ask you is like, because I remember girls always used to say in high school, like, oh, like when we go to get our nails done, those Korean ladies are talking shit to us, like talking shit about us.
Yeah.
And we can't understand them.
They definitely are.
But they're talking shit. Mm-hmm. And then like, I feel like you might get a little bit of that at the Japanese steakhouse too. Like they might be talking shit about you.
I think the people that talk the most shit, not the chefs, it's the ladies that fill your water and take your orders because they stand in those black outfits off to the side and they huddle with each other. They're the ones that talk because those people are bitches. So, those are the ones who are fucked up. The chef is always the nicest dude.
Well, but what I was gonna say is they're told they have like you got to be really nice. The chefs, they're told that shit. But like I almost want to let them know from the beginning, like listen, man. Like you said, you don't have to do any of the tricks or anything. You could just make the food. Like, I like the food. You just make the food. I'm not because I feel like they go over the top and putting on an act and like we're gonna cook and I'm flipping the thing and here's the fucking fire. Oh.
Let me say a corny line. Yeah, like Kevin Costner put out fire. You're just like what? They say shit like that, like just a random name, like haha Nicolas Cage, and you're just like what? Okay. They pull shit out of fucking for like wherever. You're just like, how the fuck? What the fuck? This dude's trapped in like 94.
Oh my god, that was so funny. You're right, because they do some random shit. Like
they say the most random shit. Like they'll just be like, Obama. Like you're just like, oh fuck. Not even president anymore.
But I know that they're secretly like in their mind, they're secretly like, I don't want to fucking entertain these people and like. Fuck you for trying to make me be all like happy on another level. Like I don't want to do this right. Like they might not be in the mood. Like they had a fight with their wife, and that's why I'm saying like I want to let them know. Like listen, man, I don't want to make you hate me, and I don't want to feel awkward when you start doing your thing. Mm-hmm. So you could just cook it, and we're gonna tip you good. Like you could just cook it, and then that's it. And like we're just gonna keep it real here. You don't have to go on some over the top shit. And I don't want to feel awkward when you're asking people questions, and then I got to ask you 3 times what you said because I didn't hear it. Like, I don't want to have to go through that. But I love the food so much. The food is so good.
But then again, if you hit them with that, hey, you could just cook the shit. What if it's the dude's first time and he wants to be like on his comedy shit?
Well, that's why you don't never really do it. Like in your head, you want to say to them, like, you don't have to. It's okay. But like, you're right. Maybe they might be like offended. Like this. Like, this is my art. Like, this is what I do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at Cold Stone, I think if you tip them, they got to, like, they're supposed to sing and all that shit. But, like, my whole thing is because I worked at an ice cream store. When I go to an ice cream store, I always give a tip. But I've never done this at Cold Stone. But if I give a tip, I almost want to be like.
You don't have to sing.
Yeah, you don't gotta sing the banana song. I just want to give you $1. Like, that's fine. Keep it. You know, like. But then again, the dude might be really into the shit and want to sing it. So like, you don't want to cross that line. So you sort of got to let people do their shit.
So speaking of tips, man, I'm a big tipper, but I don't think tipping should exist. What do you feel about that?
Tipping's sort of fucked up. I mean, yeah, it's sort of fucked up because. Yeah, it depends on like a grimy ass dude. If he's just like a cheap motherfucker and like you're putting your heart into serving that dude and he's still just gonna be fucked up.
Well, that's the thing is like, so tipping exists because there are some jobs where they're like, we're not even gonna fucking pay you minimum wage. Like, we're gonna pay you less than minimum wage, and then they're like, don't worry, you'll make it up in tips. And it's like, no, sometimes they don't make it up in tips, and yeah, you're relying on the kindness of strangers. You're out here trying to make a living.
Yeah, and usually the people that you're relying on, that you're getting tipped at, is like an Applebee's or some shit where someone's trying to get like a cheap meal or like, you know, they're trying to go out to dinner but on the cheap side.
Yes. So it's like, just fucked up to those people. Like,
yeah.
And it also, honestly, it's fucked up to the person who has to tip too, because you're like, just tell me what I'm supposed to pay. Like, put it in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's don't like leave wiggle room. Like, oh, what do you want to? Like, oh, you're supposed to do, if you're nice, 20%, but some people do 12%, and you could do as much as like 30%. And it's like, no, don't make me think of some extra shit that I'm not trying to think of. I'm trying to just eat. Mm-hmm. Like, you're trying to make me sit here and do fucking math while I'm trying to have some fries, bitch.
Yeah, that shit is...
If they just made a law, first of all, obviously they need to make the minimum wage a living wage. That's point number one. But point number two is there should be a law that there's no exceptions to the minimum wage. So, like, all commission jobs, okay, you can make it a commission job, but you have to at least pay them a living wage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no question about it. Like, you have to at least pay them a living wage, and then if you want to do a commission shit on top of that, fine.
Yeah.
But you have to at least pay them a living wage. Because, again, like you said, I think you said people from Europe or something, when they come here, they're like, tipping's a thing. Like, they don't have that.
Yeah, I don't think they don't. Tipping's not a thing in Europe. Like, it's just in your meal. Like, that shit is expensive as fuck because you're paying your waiter or waitress.
Yeah, but it should be built in like that. That's the right thing to do. I think.
Yeah, I know. But I've also had meals where the service has been fucked up, where like the dude was like, or female was just not on her shit.
Yeah. And
I've thought to myself, like, oh, that's why we have this system. I would give, but then I feel like a dick. I'm like, I can't even give him that.
Yeah,
like,
you know, it's a weakness of mine, but even if I get terrible service, I'm like, I'm still going to tip them good because it's just the right thing to do. Like, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know any of it, you know? So it's just like, whatever, I'll do the right thing here. Because, again, it shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case that you have to rely on the person that you're serving. And they come up with some bullshit argument like, oh, it makes it so that they're incentivized to fucking be nicer to you. But no, sometimes they're not. And
fuck that. What makes someone coming into Applebee's like more like what? I just don't get like a shitty ass person. What makes him more important to like?
It's just excuses that they're given to not pay them a living wage.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Chili's had the nerve the other fucking day, like before we ate, they were like, do you want to give like money to this shit before you eat or something? To like, it was for some hospital shit, but then we were saying like, if you don't, like, that's all a tax write off for them. So it's like you're donating. Like, if I want to donate, I would donate just to the hospital. I'm not going to give it to Chili's to give it on my behalf. Like,
yeah, that's a good point. That's a
good
good point.
Do that shit myself, so. Yeah.
I'm a sucker though. I got hit with that at the grocery store a while ago.
Oh, they do that shit everywhere now.
They had like paper bags at the end of the thing where you check out, and it had groceries already in it. And they're like, "You want to donate to the food bank?" And I was like, "Yeah."
You did?
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm a sucker for that. I'm like,
Petco does that shit. I was buying my pet food, and before you pay with a card, it's like, you want to donate $1 to the fucking veteran pet foundation? I'm just like, no, sorry.
Yeah,
I hope that pet dies.
There's a few things that I'm gonna contribute to on a yearly basis, and I'll have that be my every year I give
Oh, really?
this amount to this place, this amount to
I
that
don't trust
place.
the shit. I don't trust the people outside of Walmart doing that shit for the Salvation Army or
Well,
whatever.
that's the thing is like, and I don't blame people for this because they look at all the different charities and they're like, how the fuck do I know where it's really going? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
But there are a few different different companies that they grade every single one, and they tell you what percentage of the money given goes to actual charity versus overhead costs. And some of them are really bad. Like some of the biggest name charities are really shitty, where like a majority of their shit is not going to.
I thought one of them, like Salvation Army or American Red Cross, one of those shits was like not good or something
maybe both of them. It might be both of them. But then there were some other ones that you've heard of before that are pretty good. So you just got to go over the list. But
I think Wounded Warrior Project was a bad one or something.
That was a terrible one. That was a terrible one. They were really bad. But yeah, that's the thing is you got to get. I'll figure out the name of it and then maybe we'll bring it up if I can remember on the next podcast because then you can feel confident when you do donate. Like, okay, at least I know it's going to this thing and it's definitely going to that thing.
Yeah.
There's some that I would love to donate to, but like, so here's the thing.
But do you really think your dollar or whatever at the supermarket is going to end up at the food
I don't
bank
know.
shit?
I don't know if it ended up going there. I hope it did. You know, I mean, how the fuck do I know? I don't know if it ended up going there.
Yeah.
But like the ACLU, they do good work, but at the same time, there's one issue where I really disagree with them, which is they genuinely argue that money in politics is free speech. So like they're in favor of people donating as much as they want to any politician with like no rules. And that's corruption in my mind. They think
how do they even figure that that's free speech?
Because they say it's a First Amendment issue when freedom of speech means even freedom of political speech. And so when you donate to a politician, that's you giving political speech to them and saying, hey, I'm expressing my support of you by giving you X amount of money. I think it's a bullshit argument. I think we have legalized bribery in this country. I don't think that's a good argument.
Yeah.
Problem is with ACLU on every other issue, I agree with them. They're always fighting for due process for people. So if anybody's held indefinitely in the U.S., they fight for them. They'll take up their case, and they don't charge the people anything. They're really good on free speech issues. If somebody's being persecuted for their speech, no matter if they're good people or bad people, they'll defend them. They're very principled on that. So I love a lot of what they do, but that one issue, I'm just like, and it just annoys me.
Yeah, that one seems like it's a pretty fucking big issue, too.
It is. It's a huge issue.
Like
it's arguably
you,
the biggest issue, So, but they're doing, like, they're fighting Trump a lot nowadays with all the fucking fucked up shit his administration is doing. They're in court a lot. So, whatever. You got to comb through and find out whichever places you agree with the most to do your charitable donations.
You know what I noticed on the fucking... This is totally different, but, like, when The Undertaker came out...
What?
Everyone had their, like... I mean, I would probably be guilty of this shit, too, but everybody has their fucking cell phones out, like, when The Undertaker's right in front of them. Like, they're not even looking at the motherfucker.
That's such a great point. So, when I was in 2013, I was at a golf event, and Tiger was there, and everybody had their phone out, and I was with my friend, he had his phone out, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I want to see him in person. I see him all the time on a screen. I want to see him in person. So I was like forcing myself, don't take your phone out, don't try to record it, because if you do it, then you're going to be looking on the screen, and that's going to annoy you because you're not going to see him in person.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's...
we'll never get back to a time where like you just go to an event and watch that shit for like what it is, and then you come home.
Yeah, that's a big... Have you watched any Black Mirror or no?
Yeah, I sort of gave up on it now, but like I had a week where I was watching a lot of the episodes.
So I watched the first season, the first 3 episodes. The first season's only 3 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's kind of the shit that they talk about, like what's going to happen with technology in the future, and like the problems that brings up. Like, did you see the episode where the guy had everybody has the little chip behind their ear? I think they call it grain. Like, I have a grain.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. Is that season? I didn't watch season 1.
That's season 1. So there's this episode. You don't care if I tell you, right?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Spoiler alert for people who haven't watched Black Mirror. Skip 5 to 10 minutes from here. But so they put this thing behind the ear called a grain. And what it does is it records everything in your life. So, like, you know how I'm looking at you right now, and I got the camera in front of me, and I'm sitting in the Secular Talk office, and I'm looking around. It's almost like if you had a fucking old school, VHS shit, and you're recording every second of it, and then what you could do is you pull out a little handy fucking controller like a remote, and you can rewind it. And you can watch everything that happened in your day if you want to. Oh, like what happens in the episode is the guy isn't sure if his boss is going to fire him, and he goes back to the last meeting he had with his boss and looked at like the clues from his boss.
Shit.
And his boss said something like, I can't wait to maybe see you again or something like that. And like he watched it over and over, and he's like, he said maybe in that shit. Why'd he say maybe? So
I might have to watch that episode.
It's a good episode, and then so since you want to watch it, I won't ruin too much of it. But basically, what ends up happening is he obsesses over what happens with his girlfriend. Like he rewinds, like, what the fuck did this bitch say to that dude who she was talking to? And then it shows you what happens when you have every fucking second available of your life to watch. In some ways, you could say, hey, that's a blessing, because you could rewind back to beautiful moments that you had, whether it be with a significant other, whether it be with a parent, whatever it might be. You can go back to that moment and go, oh my God, I have it fucking recorded. But the downside is you can end up becoming obsessive over every little moment, and you could overanalyze shit, and you can make yourself miserable. And there was one girl in the episode who said, like, I went grainless. Like, I don't have a grain. And they're like, what? Like, is that a religious thing? Like, why would you do that? And she's like, I was just happier when I did it that way. And she said that, like, at the beginning of the episode, and then by the end of it, you're going, damn, maybe she was right.
Yeah.
And then, so that gets back to the point you were making about the phone, which is like, yeah, everybody's always looking at their phone. Now, I'm the first person to like, kind of defend modern technology, because I always felt like, no, I actually really cherish the countless hours I sat there on the internet, like, with, like, the laptop on my lap, the TV on in the background. Like, I actually like that alone time where you do that shit, you know what I mean? But, yeah, there is a point there that especially when you're out there doing shit, like, you're at some sort of a fucking sporting event, or you're out on a date, or you're at some family event or something. Like, no, in those situations, bitch, put your shit away. You know what I mean? And when you're glued to it all the time, that could be, it could be like a curse, because it's almost like you're addicted to this thing, and you always need to, press the fucking button with the morphine in it. Like,
Yeah, people are going to become, like, dumber just because, like, back in the day, you would have to fucking tell stories based off of memory. Now it's just like, hey, let me show you a video of this. I was at WWE on Monday. Whereas, like, back in the day, you'd be like, I was there, 2 weeks ago, and yeah, this shit happened, and it's like you're training your memory for all this shit. Whereas now it's just like, I can watch this shit. I'm gonna record it on my phone, and then 2 weeks later, you just show it to someone, and your stories become worse. People are gonna become fucking, yeah.
But the upside of it is, shit, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Damn, Razor Ramon just came out.
Yeah, he's old as fuck. You can see how old he is there.
Fuck.
The upside of it is fact checking. That's the upside of it.
Well, that's true too.
Because then, like, you can't, like, back in the 70s, there were definitely a bunch of assholes sitting at a bar. They're like, yeah, did you hear the fucking thing that happened?
Yeah.
Like, and
stories were definitely probably way crazier back in the 70s, 80s.
People making shit up nonstop. And then there came a point where they were like, actually, no, I just looked it up and you're wrong. That's not true.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, shit. So, like, you made it so that you put, like, the liars a little bit back on their heels. But not really. I mean, look who's president. That motherfucker's a liar.
Yeah, I guess the benefits, I mean, in certain situations, like with police beatings and shit like that, like now it's probably better that we have all these videos. As we spoke about in the past, like you would just see in the newspaper, like, dude robs bank and holds hostages or some shit. Whereas now there's videos and it's probably like he didn't rob the bank. He was, like some, like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I've been trying to stay away from like waking up and going to my phone and being on shit all, like, I'll check Twitter a little bit just because I want to see like what's going on. I feel like I would be disconnected, like just watching that shit on the news or reading it on Yahoo or some shit like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like people are funnier online and like you get a different side of the story, you know? Like you could see a different side of the story a little bit better.
I always love the descriptions like, oh, this is what Facebook is like versus this is what Twitter is like. That I see that a lot, and I think it's funny when people are like, Instagram,
what do you mean, like how they
yeah,
say
Instagram, everybody pretends they're perfect. Facebook, everybody pretends they're perfect. And then Twitter's where everybody goes to shit on the people who are on Instagram and Facebook. Like, Twitter's like, I'm depressed, here's a meme.
Yeah.
And fucking Facebook's like, my life is so great, you have no idea. Like, here, look at how great I am. Look at these pictures.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the fucking Trump picture reminded me of. It's just like,
oh, the working one, the one where he's pretending to work?
Photo. Like, just like, take a picture of me like I'm pretending to work. It's just like what everybody does on Instagram. Like, when they're trying to do these yoga poses, like, be directly in the air.
Yeah, like
this
you don't
isn't
my fucking before. 8th picture. Yeah, like, this isn't... I didn't try to do this 80 times. Like, I'm just fucking casually doing it, and I look perfect. What? What do you want?
Dude was on the phone with, like, even, like, when I have a phone call with some shit, I'll just have a piece of paper and a pen just to, like, jot down any fucking notes. Like, he's working on the government shutdown and just doing that shit, like, just side.
Yeah, he's lying. He's not working. Shit. It's so obvious that he wasn't working.
That shit is hilarious.
Literally no papers on his desk. Like, what? That's not... You're the president, dude. Do you know that? So it's just like, you have to have the wherewithal to at least fucking put some papers on your desk.
And even the fact that, like, just on a small, like, just even holding the phone, like, motherfuckers now will have, like, a headset or some shit. Like, you don't even have to hold the phone anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, who holds a fucking phone? Like, people, like you want to walk around the office, get your mind flowing a little bit. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
That would have been a better video.
I can't believe they took that picture and everybody was like, yep, this is good. Tweet this one. Like, what the... This one is the one you're going to tweet? The one where he's obviously not doing shit?
That shit had me dying.
All right, you ready to do the results here? You do the results of the Polsingtons?
Yeah. Damn, DX was Diesel crew.
Yeah.
Why did Razor Ramon come out with DX?
Why didn't he come out with DX?
Why did he? He wasn't in DX.
You're right. He was in NWO, but I guess they just threw him in there. Oh my goodness. We got some fucking upsets in this bitch.
Don't tell me that Waffles won. If Waffles won, I'm done.
Waffles won?
Are you serious?
Well, there's a little bit of a caveat here. There's 12 minutes until the polls close for Waffles.
But are they smacking it like that, or are they...
They're not smacking it, but it looks like they're going to pull it out. They're going to inch this bitch out. This is Waffles 37%, Pancakes 30%, French Toast 33%.
That's a close poll, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an upset.
That is a big upset.
Waffles has stepped up to the plate and said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, shout out to Waffles.
Waffles just fucking... I mean, they proved us wrong, man, on so many levels. We were having the French Toast versus Pancake conversation, and we just kind of brushed Waffles off, and we were like, you're not... Come on.
I thought Waffles was going to get waxed. I
did too.
I thought it was third place easily.
I did too. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Don't say Britney didn't win.
Britney didn't win.
God damn.
Christina Aguilera won. Britney 43%, Christina Aguilera 47%, Jessica Simpson 10%. Wow. Fuck. Okay, wait. We got more, man. The other ones
we do today?
The other ones are not as surprising.
Well, I don't know. Do people brush in the shower?
Well, we'll get to that. First, Tic Tacs. You were right about Tic Tacs. Orange, smack people.
Good.
Orange 60%, white 25%, green 15%.
Okay, that's where
people pretty much totally agreed with us there.
Yeah.
I thought it would be closer, but people agreed with my personal take and Corin's personal take on orange.
I'm happy about that one.
Well, you're going to be happy about the next one too.
People do brush in the shower.
Sprite.
Oh.
Sprite fucking
Damn, how many fucking polls do we do today?
Sprite ran shit, man. Sprite 62%, 7-Up 24%. How are you guys so wrong? It's amazing.
God damn I like
it.
that. So that was, Sprite and
Sprite
then 7-Up?
62%, 7-Up 24%, Sierra Mist 14%.
That's perfect. That's right where it should be.
Nah, man, 7-Up I like a lot more. Okay. Shocking. You got waxed in the brushing poll, man.
People don't brush in the shower?
68% said no. Yes, 30%. That's right, or 32%. That's right about where I thought. Didn't I say yes would be 30%?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear their argument. Why? Why not?
I feel like that's one of those things you got to start like when you're young, and then you got to stick with it. Like for me, I started when I was young.
So clear cut.
I started when I was young, but then when I hit a point, I thought like, oh, I don't think my mom and my dad do this, so why am I doing this? Like this is some kid shit, and I just stopped doing it. But you're right, there's no reason for that. Like that's not true. Like you could brush in the shower. If we should do a poll about peeing in the shower, do you pee in the shower? I pee in the shower like a motherfucker.
Nah, I don't pee in the shower because I feel like one day I might take a... Nah.
You feel like one day you're going to take a shit?
No, hopefully not. I feel like I'm going to take a bath one day that I'm just like, I don't want to pee in this shit.
I pee like a motherfucker in the shower.
Someone else's shower, yes, I probably do pee in my shit.
If you're at a hotel, you'll do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
don't
I
let me
was
shower
hesitant.
at your house because I'm peeing your shit.
I was hesitant like the first 3 times, and then after the first 3 times, I was like, why am I hesitant? Let me just let it rip and just fucking...
Nah, that one to me is more like, ugh.
I respect the purity.
What about, I have to cut my nails in the shower.
No, I've never done that. I cut it outside of the shower.
Yeah, I get so eared out by that shit. Like when someone's cutting their nails other than in a bathroom, I'm like, I think that shit is disgusting. Like if someone's cutting that shit on a kitchen table or in the living room, I can't have that.
Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying is logical because you want it to just all go down the drain.
Yeah.
But I've never done it in the shower.
Bowl, some shit like that.
Yeah, that would make sense to do it that way. I've never done it that way though.
Yeah.
By the way, Andre Drummond and Lou Williams got snubbed by the All-Star.
Lou Williams I could have maybe seen getting on that shit. Oh, they announced the All-Star shit tonight, right?
Yeah, but they said it says this is just on Twitter on the sidebar. It says Andre Drummond and Lou Williams aren't pleased with their All-Star snubs.
Yeah, well, they're not going to be fucking happy about that shit.
Yeah, but to vocalize it, like, you guys fucked up or something like that.
Oh.
It's like, chill, relax. I don't know if they actually did vocalize it, but I'm assuming that's why it's fucking on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm sure they tweeted some shit or got upset about something.
Oh, Porzingis.
He made this shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook and Porzingis.
And then I think the top 2 guys, so I think it's LeBron and probably Curry, they picked their teams this year. Like they pick who they want on their teams. Which the Knicks play Golden State tonight, and they're gonna get Wizards because Porzingis and Quinn are not even playing.
Late game, 10:30 my time.
Yeah, I can't even watch that shit.
Yeah, they're gonna get fucked up. Okay, so yeah, that's all the polls. Christina Aguilera.
I'm surprised Christina Aguilera wins. She only had like Genie in a Bottle was like her only banger.
Wanna get dirty? It's about time you suck my anus.
That's not even. What else does she even have? I feel like Genie in a Bottle was Oh yeah.
What a girl wants.
Yeah, that was a good one
suck
too.
On my dick. Okay, so just to recap, everybody, Christina Aguilera wins. Do you brush your teeth in the shower? No. Which is better? Sprite beats 7-Up and Sierra Mist. Orange Tic Tac. Waxes. White and
Good
green.
for Orange Tic Tac.
Waffles wins. What an upset. Holy shit. Waffles
I'm surprised about Waffles.
Waffles pulled a Bernie Sanders in Michigan. Remember when Bernie won in Michigan against Hillary, and he was like 20 points down in the polls leading up to it, and then he won, and everybody's like, what the fuck just happened? That's Waffles just pulled a Bernie Sanders. Feel the waffle. Hashtag feel the waffle.
I think Waffles has some big donors, as that's what's helping it. It's got ego.
Oh, so then Waffles is the Hillary Clinton then. That's what Waffles is.
Waffles is just like not a good candidate, but like a good backing system. So yeah, like a Hillary, and she's got all the celebrities and shit like that. Because they got egos, which is just everybody has those shits, and then Waffle House.
Yeah, shout out to Egos and Waffle House, because if not for Eggo Waffles and Waffle House, Waffles was not winning this shit.
No, hell no.
Yeah. And French Toast Crunch couldn't pull it out for French Toast.
French Toast Crunch is banging, and that shit is always sold out in the supermarket.
That shit is banging. I feel like it went away for a little bit, and then it came back. Is that true?
It did. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it did. It went away for a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm. I was craving Lucky Charms the other day. I know you eat those shits, but for some reason
I have some Lucky Charms. Captain Crunch, too, is pretty good. Captain Crunch is like...
I just bought some Captain Crunch.
It's pretty good. It's like peanut buttery-ish or something. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just
Just
good.
like corn, like flavory, sugared butter taste.
Yeah, it's just terrible for you, but good. So try it, everybody.
That shit is banging.
Oh, okay, we can call it a night skis, man. We've been going for like an hour and 40, probably hour 30, hour 40 when you include the other podcast, something like that.
Oh, true. I don't get this match, man. DX was just fighting everybody. Now they're all hugging each other in the ring.
No, they weren't fighting. They actually were. They were just on the sidelines while somebody else fought. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Because I saw Razor Ramon throw his toothpick in someone's face like he always does.
Yeah, back in the day, man, you go back and watch that. See, that's just final point, real quick, about the thing. One of the things about wrestling that makes it so great is actually the entrances. Like the entrances are just fucking like Jericho's entrance from back in the day. Fucking classic. I always loved Gangrel's entrance. Vampire Gangrel. What?
Goldust is walking out with the squad right now.
Yeah, Goldust. Yeah, you're towards the end, I think.
Kurt Angle just looks like a mini chode.
Everybody looked kind of short to me the other night too. I was like, this is weird. They all look short.
Yeah. He just looks like a penis. Like he just looks like a penis.
He's probably not that tall in real life.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, he'll jacked,
definitely kick my ass.
Oh, he's jacked, yeah. Even though he broke his neck like 80 times.
But he just straight looks like a penis. Damn, that must suck.
All right, guys, we love you, and we'll talk to you soon. And everybody have a good one. Till the next Kyle and Corin's poll show. Peace.